welcome to the program, Christina Pascucci. You're running for U.S. Senate.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It's wonderful to meet you. So this is a big change. I mean, you were a journalist for 10
Yes.
plus years. And, you know, was it easy for you to transition from a career in journalism to now swapping that out for the campaign trail?
I don't think they're all that different, to be honest, because what I've spent my career doing is sitting down and talking with the people of California and interviewing thousands of people actually across the world. And that's what I plan on doing on the campaign trail, too, is sitting and talking to Californians about the issues they care about most. So in a way, journalism with the crazy hours, some of the crazy comments you get,
Yep.
a lot of the madness around it is very similar to politics.
So not a difficult decision, I guess you would say.
Yeah, a transition, yeah.
And like you were saying, thank you, transition. So as a journalist, like you said, you've spoken with a lot of residents, officials, politicians, what have you, but politics as a whole is a different beast. So,
For sure.
and you've never run for political office before, so I guess, you know, why run for U.S. Senate and not start at a local office first?
Yeah, and that's a fair question. I think as I was looking at how the race was shaping up and who our best options were, I felt dismayed by it. I wanted to step up and step in. I felt it was really important because our democracy is at stake as far as I'm concerned. There's so much polarization, and I've already been doing a lot of the work fighting for legislation in Sacramento, working with underserved communities for 15 years. So even though I'm labeled as a journalist, I've also been a community advocate and worker, and I understand how politics works. Also, having been to more than 100 countries across 7 continents, interviewing world leaders, I have a huge grasp on foreign policy, geopolitics, which is a very important part of the Senate. You're deciding whether to go into war. You have to have an understanding of the global atmosphere and environment, and those are all skills that I have.
Right. Well, and you're up against some other big names in this race that are also running for the same seat that you're fighting for. We have Representative Adam Schiff, Representative Katie Porter. Do you think you have what it takes to convince voters out there to vote for you and not one of them?
I do. I did a lot of research going into this, months and months of calls and talking to different people, and I can tell you that many voters were not enthused by how the race was shaping up. And basically, it's a decision between voting for how things have been done or how they can be. And if you want more of the same, you can vote for one of my opponents, but I have a bold, fresh vision for this state, and I think voters are eager to have someone in office who will listen to their concerns and also be more of a moderate force. And that's really my goal, is to reach across the aisle, work together to get meaningful legislation done for the people of California and America, rather than finger pointing or blaming, which has been the name of the game lately.
So, and let's dig a little deeper into your vision. What are some of the top issues that you're running on?
I'm very passionate about homelessness and mental health. That's been a big part of my advocacy work the past 15 years or so. I've worked with foster youth, and they actually make up half the homeless population. So I think supporting them, elevating them is a key part of my strategy in tackling homelessness. My own family member suffered from mental health issues and addiction. So that's actually why I even became a reporter, is because I saw how her life could have been so different had she just had more resources and support early on. So those are two very important things. And then also something that's extremely important to me as a mother-to-be is supporting families and also education. We underinvest in education hugely in California. For decades, this has been how it's been done. And it's unacceptable to me that we don't have quality education for our kids. And also family support, maternity leave, universal child care. These are things that are important, because how can you expect to have a thriving society when you're not supporting children at the beginning of their lives?
Right. Well, and speaking of that, so right now Congress is divided. It's something that could continue to happen. We've seen it happen before. And they're divided on some of these more contentious issues like abortion, like gun rights. Where would a Senator Pascucci stand on some of these more contentious issues like abortion, like gun rights?
Well, I am an independent Democrat. The independent in there just means I look at each issue objectively rather than through party politics. So I'll approach each one with a fresh view. But being a Democrat, the reason why in part is because of my stance on abortion. I feel that the government shouldn't be involved with a woman's right to choose. And also I think it's very important when you're talking to people who vehemently disagree with you. I grew up with staunch Republican parents, so I understand that perspective. I understand how to speak about these issues in a respectful manner. And it's really important to understand the come from of the other side and find out where you can go in the middle in order to actually compromise in a way that supports the American people. Because at the end of the day, that's who we're here for. And I think that many have lost sight of that.
Yeah, and so where can voters find more information about your campaign?
ChristinaForCalifornia.com.
All right, simple. There you have it. Well, thank you so much and good luck out there.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.